Hey, how are you going? So it's 10:44 this morning. I apologize if you see some stuff in the background because it's daytime here. So my family are up and about. I'll try and block it so you can't see it. I'll have to just stay here. Unfortunately, I've got to work out how to rearrange my room a little bit. But I hope you are well. So by the time you're seeing this, you're either getting up in the morning or you're just relaxing for the night. Well, they say that you've made it when you start having some interesting comments put onto your YouTube channels. And yes, I've had some interesting comments. My favorite is that my laugh is stupid and idiotic and that I have no comprehension of English. Well, I'm an Australian and our English is based on the UK English for a lot of it, but we have our own dialect. So I'm a dinky die ocker, really. So, and the other thing is apparently there's people out there that don't like my singing, and I appreciate that. What I will say today is that for as long as I can remember, I have burst out into song. Somebody will say something and I'll just burst out into start singing the first song that comes to mind. I've done that for as long as I can remember. So I know that not everybody likes it. I can try and not sing. However, for me, it's part of who I am. So to silence my voice is to silence me. The next thing that I will say is that what you see in front of you, this is who I am. I'm not fake. I'm not, I am genuine. Who I am here is who I am everywhere else. Sometimes at work I'm a little bit quieter because, I can't talk. But I often will sing when I clean, which is bizarre. But again, I'm happy to try and do better. And that's all I can do. I can try. I can't guarantee that I will succeed, and I'm not going to make everybody happy. I can't make everybody happy. I won't make everybody happy, but I need to be true to myself. So that's, I have to be who I am and true to myself. And I'm not trying to ride the coattails of anybody. I'm just reporting what I see. And I'm very much aware that there is a little boy out there that's going to read comments written about their mother, and a little boy that's going to see what their mother's written and said online. And that is always in the forefront of my mind whenever I talk about the topic. So with all of that out of the way, let's talk about the document that was filed. Because yes, there is another document that's been filed. So this is the defendant's motion to shorten time on motion for Rule 11 sanctions. So essentially here Brown is asking for 8 days reply from Salts, 2 days for him to reply, and then a hearing after that. So he wants to have this dealt with quickly. So apparently he's like a mother waiting for their child to brush their teeth or waiting for a child to do something. He's not very patient by this, in my opinion. So this is what it states. Defendants respectfully request that the court enter an order shortening time on their motion for Rule 11 sanctions against plaintiffs and their counsel. This motion will be based on the same conduct that forms the basis for defendant's motion to sanction pursuant to 28 USC section 1927 and the court's inherent power, docket 59. So here, tag docket 38-1. I thought you said it was 59. Is the declaration of Laurie Ann, a non-party witness. The declaration procured and drafted by plaintiff's counsel is replete and demonstrable falsities. See docket 43.1. However, Rule 11 does not apply to non-party witnesses. For reasons explained elsewhere, defendants will not seek sanctions of any kind against Miss Barnhart. That's really nice of him. So he's not blaming her, he's blaming anyway. The blame squarely assaults you, obviously. That's what they're saying. So it looks like for this that they're not going to sanction Lorianne. For Rule 11 provides that a motion for sanctions brought thereunder generally must not be filed or presented to the court if the challenge paper, claim, defence, contention or denial is withdrawn appropriately, corrected within 21 days after service or within another time the court sets. Fed R Civ P 11C2, emphasis added. So this is what he wants. They want the court to set a shortened time frame because otherwise it's 21 days. However, the rule contemplates situations in which it may be difficult or impossible to comply with the 21-day provision. Neighbours concerned about yacht club expansion versus Grosse Pointe Yacht Club, 1999, WL 33656445 at point 9. ED Mitch, May 26, 1999. Defendants submit that this may be the situation here. Currently pending before the court is the court's defendant's motion to dismiss, docket 17. And we're up to docket 61, by the way. The focus of the motion is that defendants' challenge to the assertion of personal jurisdiction over them. Defendants reside in Minnesota. Should the court grant the defendant's motion and dismiss the lawsuit with prejudice on personal jurisdiction grounds before the expiration of the 21-day safe harbour, this court will lose jurisdiction to consider defendant's Rule 11 motion. Trustel versus California Permanent Group 293, F3D 1146, 1152. All right. Defendants submit that this result would be inequitable and that it would insulate plaintiffs and their counsel from responsibility for what the defendants believe are clear, demonstrable violations of Rule 11. They respectfully request that the court shorten the 21-day waiting period to 8 days from the date of this filing, that is February 23. Defendants have set their draft motion for Rule 11 sanctions to all plaintiffs' counsel via email on the date of this filing and will also serve it by mail on February 16. The parties conferred regarding this motion to shorten time and regarding Rule 11 motion on January 27, 2021. So it looks like that they did confer. Okay, so what does this mean? So this is my non-legal opinion. So they're wanting to use the same time frame for the motion to dismiss. So they're saying that they've got a motion to dismiss based on personal jurisdiction, but if the court rules on jurisdiction before this motion is ruled, then they lose this opportunity to sanction Saltsy because Lorianne is only relevant if jurisdiction is in Washington. Remove the jurisdiction and Lorianne doesn't become a player anymore. So they want the judge to rule on this first and then rule on the jurisdiction. So they're pushing the jurisdiction issue further and further back. Now, to me, this is lunacy. And again, this is just my understanding of what the documents say. I've just read out the documents. This is my understanding. So they've said here, see, it says that this was, so this court will lose jurisdiction to consider defendant's Rule 11 motion. So they want the court to have jurisdiction in sanctioning, in dealing with the sanctions, but they don't want the court to have jurisdiction with the actual defamation case, which seems really bizarre for me. I don't understand it, but I guess there's something somewhere that it makes sense to someone. It makes no sense to me. If it was me, I'd be going hard on the personal jurisdiction and getting it out, because as soon as if the judge says jurisdiction is not in Washington, everything to do with Lorianne disappears because she's not relevant. But the problem is they've spent all this money dealing with Lorianne. They should have just sat back. I mean, if they'd written a better motion to defense, in my opinion, a motion to dismiss, in my opinion, they would never have had to go down this path. Again, this is my opinion. I am not a lawyer. All right. I just want that to be known. This is my opinion. So it's just really, really, in my opinion, it's really, really bizarre. It doesn't make any sense to me, because what if the judge says rules against the sanctions and then rules jurisdiction? They've just wasted all this money. You know? Sometimes it's better if you say nothing at all, in my opinion. However, but then I do understand trying to bring the time frame forward. I understand that. And obviously I would say by the thing to say that they conferred. I think, I also think that makes sense as well. But we haven't even got to jurisdiction yet. Why are we even trying to destroy credibility of witnesses when we don't even know that we've got jurisdiction? Surely jurisdiction is the thing that needs to be dealt with first, and then everything else. But I think it's gone a bit beyond that. I think it's become very petty. And I don't know. I just have to question how KJ can afford all these. For me, they're frivolous. In my opinion, they're frivolous filings. At least they weren't 200 pages. So look, we've also been busy on Twitter again this morning. So I'm just going to show you what we've got. This won't be a very long stream. I apologize. But look, some autism advocates assert that people should use autistic versus people with autism, or some people prefer autistic. Not all do. I believe it's important to respect the wishes of the individual versus making blanket statements. Just my thoughts. I'm a paralytic. I'm always referred to myself as disabled person, disabled woman, rather with person with disability. It's your choice that matters. My son is autistic. He goes to school specially for autistic kids. He's HFA/Asperger's. This went through their school, and the vast majority, 99.9%, didn't care, as long as it was not some slur used. You do realize she's lying about her son having autism. She lies a lot about him. She says herself kids with disability make people a lot of money. Ask how much they're paid a month to be a parent. Katie's continually lied about her son's autism. She'll do and say anything for attention, clicks, and views, even as far as using her son. Her behavior is disgusting. These are not I'm just reading what's on here, okay? I have to say, though, it is very confusing, because there is that Pathos article that she wrote in 2017 where she said that her son was misdiagnosed. And I have not found another article where she has stated that article is incorrect. I'm watching Justice Seward's new video about going on vacation. Ben tells the kids that God controls the ocean and the tides. My goodness, science denial is so thick here. Well, he does. Anything to dig the boot into the dugger, in my opinion. No, some of the things aren't how come. Cody Brown admitted in an interview with ET that Mary and his marriage is so estranged that he hasn't spent the night with her for 4 to 5 years. Their marriage is in name only, according to Cody. Run, not Mary, run. I so desperately want to sing. So heartbreaking. Rest in peace, Molly. Who is she? Someone says, sorry, who is she? Sorry for your loss. So, okay, Sister Wives recap. Christine slams Cody and is super jealous. Robin sobs, and Mary and Cody never speak. Christine has been in this marriage for 20 years and she's still jealous. Tell me how this religion makes you better. I don't understand. So that's a promotion to her video, because I thought that's what she was doing on her Twitter, just promoting her videos. Jessica Duggar and Ben Seawald's Weird Family Trip reveals disturbing details about their lives. What? Because he said that God controls the tides and the oceans. And then we're back on, this is her Twitter post here about the silencing people. Blocking everyone that points out your problematic behavior is a choice. And then someone's put here hidden replies. I'm so glad you wrote this. When we read court transcripts, you won't be sending death threats anymore, says somebody. Oh, you are really joking, right? See how I understand, but some people are just bratty. That's why you're blocking people, trying to silence Emily Creepshow, anyone else that sees through your scammy nature. Interesting. I'm sure you are happy President Trump was silenced from using his free speech and seeking truth. The thing is, it's not just the rich and famous. The ones who do it the most are the ones who hide behind a keyboard and claim freedom of speech when all they do is attack others just because they feel they can and feel they're protected by freedom of speech. You mean you're all Democrat sheep, did everything in your power over the past 5 years to silence Trump? Do you need a mirror? Rules for 3, but not for me. Trump fired people for speaking up and speaking out. Your argument is valid. Please take all the seats. It means nothing if you think my argument is invalid. Thank you for proving my point. Silencing everyone who disagrees with you is the most ridiculous thing ever. Ignore, move on, stop taking everything personally when it isn't about you. Take a quick peek at your feed. You're an adorable little loon. Says the one with an unhinged ID KW. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. All I can say is, shut up, creep show. Shut up. You are a bully. Stop it. You do not have freedom of speech because I say so, and you shall speak when you're spoken to. So there you go. So that is Twitter update as of today. There has been a couple of videos posted. So I know this is really short by my standards. Oops, sorry, everything's going off because it is daytime and it is, stuff does go off. So anyway, so we just have to wait and see. And so, I'm so authentic that I'm not editing bits out because why? I mean, see what I mean? I just, oh no. I just don't, there's no point because yes, I could make this look professional, but I think in my opinion, I believe I'd lose my authenticity. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments below because I'd be really interested to see what you think about the filing. What do you think Saltsy's going to file? I mean, I may finish this video and we get a response, but I don't think so. In my opinion, and this is in my opinion, I think Saltsy's hanging out for the results of the hacking. I don't want to speculate about it. I don't want to, give any ammunition. I just think we have to just all sit and wait for the investigation to be over. Once we have that and we find out who it is, then we can move on. It is rather disappointing, though, that Brown and KJ don't seem to take it seriously because I would be frantic if there was somebody doing something in my name and I didn't approve of it, I tell you what, I'd be moving heaven and earth to find out who it was. I really would be. And that's what I don't understand. So anyway, I trust that you have a good day, a good morning, and I'll be back live with you tomorrow. And we will hopefully try and make sense of all of this stuff, because it is hard just talking to a camera when you're not having interaction with people and not having people say, hey. So trust you well. Keep safe, and I will see you later.